Well, let's see, yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, sorry. Had to start the wood stove yesterday morning when I got up. So 4:30, it was 65 degrees. When I went to bed, it was 69 degrees in the house, I should say. And the temperatures got down into the 40s, I guess. And then, let's see. So yeah, when I got up at 4:30, it was 65 degrees. So I started the wood stove and got it up to probably 80 degrees, somewhere around there. And then this morning, I just assumed I was gonna have to start it again because it was supposed to get colder last night than it did the night before. But last night, I mean, well, I guess what saved us was the wind. It wasn't near as windy last night as it was the night before. And wind just kind of pulls that heat out of the house, especially since I had to open up the these vents. So of course I got vents here, so that wind just kind of goes right through it. Before I did that, it was a lot warmer, but we started getting moisture up in the attic. Long story, don't want to really talk about it too much, but we had a plan for the attic, and then when we moved in, we realized that we didn't want to do that plan anymore. So I didn't put those vents in there, but I needed to, and I knew I needed to, and then it got moisture up there. So we didn't get mold, fortunately. So I opened that up, and then I sprayed up there just in case any mold would ever grow. And, but since we did that, it gets colder in the house. I really should probably put down another layer of insulation in there. I don't know. I mean, I've made it so that there's a walkway in the attic. You can, of course you can't stand up in there, but there's a, you know, we spent like $80 on that plywood, maybe more than that. So I feel like, man, it's just a waste of money on that plywood, but it is what it is. And I don't know if I'll ever put more insulation up there or not, but that's what it needs. And then but then I noticed that I think the dogs, the two dogs being in this little bitty house with me and Carolyn, is helping with the heating. It just doesn't seem like it's getting as cold as quick in there. I feel like last fall, today we would have had to have started the wood stove. But with the dogs in there, it kept the temperature. Well, when I got up, it was 71, and then when Carolyn got up, it was 68. So, but it has, I think, started going back up since then. I think the last time I looked at it was 69, but that was a few hours ago. And it's windy. So that wind, like I said, is terrible. So I would imagine tomorrow I'll have to start the wood stove, but that's not too bad every other day, starting a wood stove in October. By this time last year, I'm sure we were starting it every day. So those dogs are gonna help us save some firewood, maybe. I don't know how much, but I know it sounds crazy, but they really have made a difference. You can feel the difference with them. So last year, you know, I like to make videos in front of the wood stove, especially in cold or snowy or rainy days. Sit in front of the wood stove and make a video. People love to watch the flames. I don't even think they listen to me when I make a video in front of the wood stove. But last year, the way I do it, the way I handle the wood stove is I light it up, and you got to realize it's a very small space. So when you light it up, and it's, you know, we got 2x6s in the wall, so I mean it's thick insulation in the walls. We got a good amount up in the attic, not enough, but a good amount. And so it just doesn't take a lot to heat this house. I mean, the stove gets up to about 600 degrees on the top surface. You take one of those laser thermometers, you can measure it. So if you think about it, that's a little bit hotter than a kitchen stove. So if we had a kitchen stove in the house, we could turn it on, electric heat, and it would heat the house up pretty effectively, actually. Well, even a gas stove would heat it up pretty effectively. So now people always say you should get a smaller wood stove because obviously we're putting too much heat. The size of the wood stove makes no difference in how much heat it produces. It's how much firewood you put in the wood stove is what makes the difference. I suppose there's a slight difference because it's got less volume inside the wood stove that it's got to heat up, which means, you know, there's these insulating plates in there. I know everybody calls them fire bricks, but they're not actually fire bricks. It's actual insulation of some sort, something they put on the space shuttle or something. So that has to heat up. So yeah, it takes a little bit more energy to heat those up, but what actually produces the heat is the firewood. So even if I had a huge monster wood stove and I just put firewood, just a little bit of firewood in there, you know, that's all the heat you're going to get out of it. So even, let's just take the insulation out of the equation for a second. No matter what you do, the amount of heat you put in is what's heating up the house. So if you just built a fire in the middle of the room, a small fire, it would put out so much heat, so many BTUs. And so that's all you got to think about is BTUs. It has nothing to do with the size of the wood stove. That being said, this wood stove we got used for like $700. I mean, it was cheap. 600 bucks, 400 bucks. I don't know. It was cheap. And it had only been used once. So it didn't make a lot of sense to go out and, no, we don't want that one. You know, this nice wood stove with, you know, it's only been used once for like half the price or less. And we're going to go out to the store and spend $1,200 on a smaller one. The thing is when it gets really cold, down in the negative temperatures, it's nice to have this size wood stove because you can put more firewood in it. Anyway, the way I do it is I light the stove up when it's 65 degrees, 68 degrees in the house, and then I let it get up to 80 degrees. You know, I've gotten good at it. I mean, in the first couple of years, I was really bad at actually hitting 85 degrees. I usually go right past it. But you can kind of figure it out over time that, you know, oh, I need to add one log. And remember, our logs are not logs. They're sticks. And so, well, you know, we put, what, 6 or 8 sticks in the wood stove. We light it up. You know, that's a log to us. We light it up. And then we may have to add a stick or two depending on what temperature we're at. But you remember that insulation holds the heat for a good long time. So you don't want to put too much. So if we're at 65 degrees and the fire starts to die down at, say, 72 degrees, I'll probably put another 2 logs in it. But you know, now to get me up to 85, and then I just let it die, let the house cool back down. And so 3 to 4 times a day I have to light the wood stove, which is actually quite a bit of work, a lot more work than just adding firewood to it all day long. But it does a couple things. First thing it does is it really cuts down on the creosote, the staining on the glass window. We don't get much creosote because we use dried firewood that's been cured, 20% less or less moisture, and some of this firewood is probably down to like 10%. If people still insist that you need moisture. Now, you need some moisture. I don't think you need any moisture. If you could get your firewood down to 0%, it would be fine by me, because you're not spending any energy, none, burning off water. And what's the enemy of fire? Water. So a lot of people say you got to have wet firewood to have a good wood stove. It's very inefficient. You only get like 30% of the potential of your firewood when you're burning green firewood. 30%. Whereas I'm getting 80, 85, 90%. And because I don't have any water that I got to heat up. And then that water turns into creosote. It just makes that smoke and the fine particulates and becomes a paste and sticks in your chimney, and that catches fire. And so first year we were here, we had a couple fires. I have to explain this story a million times. First year we were here, there was just no way to get dry firewood. So we had to burn wet firewood, and it was just a mess. The entire year was a mess. It was hard to keep the stove lit. We kept it running all the time. We were constantly just burning hot. So this year, or every subsequent year, has been 1,000 times better, so much easier. But like I said, we got a comment last year saying that it's not efficient to let your house get up to 85 degrees and then cool it back down. And it is really hard to think about that. It is. He said it's more efficient just to keep it burning all day. So if you can figure out the formula to keep it not getting too hot in the house, that it would be more efficient to use less firewood. And the scientists, whether you can believe them or not, I mean, I've asked Google a million different ways ever since I've gotten that question. I mean, I'm constantly trying to figure out the answer to this. What is more efficient? What would use less firewood? Letting it get up to 85 and cool down to 65, or burning it all day? Well, so last year I did a little bit of experimenting to try to figure it out. On those cooler days, you know, it was -4 out. We had like a week of it, so I tried it then. That way we wouldn't get too hot in the house. And I feel like, you know, I tried to do the best I could with the same size firewood. And I feel like I used more firewood, adding firewood all day long, than I would have just running it up to 85 degrees, letting it cool down. Like I said, Google agrees with me that running it up to 85 and letting it cool down to 65. Yes, initially you're going to have to have a hot wood stove and, you know, lots of wood to get it hot. But then that's it. That's all you needed. So they said physics, that the lower the temperature in your house is, the harder it is to cool off. Remember, the outside is trying to cool off the inside of the house. Well, if your house is 65 degrees and outside temperature's 45 degrees, that 45 degrees is not going to have a huge effect on the 65 degrees, which makes sense. You put a piece of meat in the freezer or refrigerator, it doesn't, or in a cooler, I should say, in a cooler, it doesn't necessarily. Well, here's a good point. I tried to freeze meat outside in temperatures that were like 28 degrees. This is how I kind of wrapped my mind around it. And I thought, well, the next day, the meat should be frozen because it's 28 degrees. It didn't freeze. So that's kind of the same mentality I have, is it's really hard to change the temperature when the temperature span is very low. We're very minuscule. But when you have a large difference in temperature, then it's easier to cool down. So you get it up to 85 degrees and, you know, you're immediately going to see your thermometer drop. Once the heat cools off on the wood stove, you're going to see that thermometer go for 84 or 83, 82. But the closer you get to 65, and I have seen this, it takes longer for it to drop temperature. You may lose a degree every 15 minutes at 85. But it may take a half hour, 45 minutes to lose the degree when you're closer to 65, depending on the temperature outside. But I have seen that. So that's the only way I really know how to explain it, is just based on what I've observed, trying to confirm what Google said, and really taking this commenter seriously on which one was more efficient, and also running my own unscientific test as to whether at -4 degrees I used more firewood or less firewood by throwing it in all day long. And it just seemed like it was a lot more, actually. I mean, like 2 or 3 burns more throughout the day. So let's say in really cold temperatures, I light it 4 times a day. It would have been like 6 times. That's how much firewood I would have used. 6, you know, if I had to light it 6 times. So it's pretty significant. So I would say, if you could set your thermostat in your house to do the same thing, you would use less energy. If somehow you could set your thermostat where it would kick on at 65 and shut off at 85 and let it go back down to 65, I bet you would use less gas. And that would quantify this thinking, because your bill would be cheaper. If you could compare October this year to October last year, or November to November, you would get a kind of a serious idea. Well, I just saved 50 bucks like from, you know, last year in October. I used to do this kind of stuff in my old house when I had a electric furnace. I used to do all these kind of, I wish I would have done this study. I really never thought about it. My thinking was, well, at nighttime I did this. We would turn down the thermostat all the way down to 50 degrees and then turn back up in the morning. That did save us money. So I guess I did kind of do that experiment, but I didn't really put it in the thought process of how much money are you saving by doing that. So that's my thought on it. So we'll continue to do it this way, because even though it's a little bit more work, well, if I had to put firewood in it all the time, I would have to get up in the middle of the night. I don't have to do that now. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was on my other channel working on a lawnmower or something. So I really appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you to do your own studies so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.